Hi everyone and welcome to today's live IELTS class. My name is Adrian and I'm streaming to you live from beautiful Budapest, Hungary. Today is January the 18th and we're looking at some academic reading strategy. If you're a general IELTS student, check out General IELTS Help, our other channel. But hey, if you can do a good job in academic reading, you'll definitely do a good job in general reading. All right, our materials, they come from our websites, this reading passage. We have audio for it. 6 full practice exams, interactive course, over 100 hours of videos. AEhelp.com for academic IELTS and GIELTShelp.com for general IELTS. So definitely check us out there. Join the premium course. It's a very good deal, much cheaper than another full IELTS exam. All right, students, to get our app, you can look for our logo, which is this here, and search for Academic IELTS Help, iTunes or Google Play. You can also get our books from Amazon. If you have questions about IELTS, send me an email, adrian@aehelp.com. I'm happy to help. Hi, Sahil. Good to see members in the class. Hi, Leanne. Hi, Aksmed. Hi, Hafsa. Good to see many people joining in. Hi, Pachu. I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking. All right, today we are doing a reading example. Tomorrow, we have a members chat class coming up. It's a flowchart type question for academic IELTS task 1. So tune in there. And today, let's get going with this reading. So here we go. Reading passage 2. All right, reading passage 2. This one starts with list of headings. I still haven't figured out which one students hate more, true, false, not given, or list of headings. I'm sure it's one of those two. Those are the ones that I get the most questions about. List of headings, true, false, not given. And if I had to choose a third, it would be multiple choice. No surprise. Hi, Kesey. Good to see you in class. All right, so we'll talk list of headings today. And just see here. It's closed. All right. We'll see list of headings today and then some other questions as well. Here we go. Reading passage. Seismic shifts, silent drifts. So we'll be looking at that. Oh, Skype is turned off. I don't know why. Somebody's trying to contact me. Hopefully they'll stop. All right. And then let's check out the other questions. Oh, hey, there's favorite number 2. True, false, not given. So we'll do that as well today. And then we have some sentence completion. So matching the correct endings. All right. So let's go back. We should not look at this question before we read. There's too much confusing information. We talked about that. True, false, not given. Do not read it before the passage because false and not given sentences will only confuse you. Okay? For the completing the sentence endings, only read these 3 because these will all be somewhere in the passage. This part here, the choices, there's 6 of them. 3 are not in the passage, so 3 of them will be confusing. Okay, so 3 of them will only confuse you, so don't read the choices there. But it's okay to read this. Plate tectonics result in mountains, volcanoes. Volcanoes result from the difference in. A tsunami can result from a slip. So we can assume that we're reading something about volcanoes and plate tectonics. Let's look at the title. Before we read the list of headings, let's look at the title. Seismic shifts, silent drifts. So when you read this title, what do you think this reading passage is about? Let's do a little bit of prediction. Okay? What do you think this reading passage will be about? So based on this title, Seismic Shifts, Silent Drifts, what do you think it will be about? Sahil, do you think it will be about earthquakes? Probably some information. Disasters? Maybe. Ayujin. So read the title. That should always be your first step. Okay. And use analytic thinking to predict information. So here the title is Seismic Shifts, Silent Drifts. Okay, predicting that it's earthquakes is a good idea. Okay, that was a good guess by somebody. Sami Chowdhury says, probably tectonic plates moving. Yeah, what is that? What's the science of tectonic plates moving? That's a very good thought, Sami. Okay, that's a great thought. Landslides, geology, Mohammed, is a good idea. Kisi, very good. Continental drift theory. What are the continents? Just for fun. So drift means to move and slide. Continents, of course, North America. Geography is a good idea as well. Sure. What are the continents? North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Antarctica, Australia, right? And which one did I miss? South America? Did I miss that one? Okay. All right. So, sure. Why? So, why do continents move? Okay. Why do they move? What's the answer? So, you should think about the why. Okay. Juan Esteban. Good. Yeah. Pablo. Good. Climate change as well. Sevgi says there are fault lines. Yeah. Sure. Why do continents move? Anybody know? Why does it move? Why does that happen? Okay, because the solid plates are on top of right? The solid plates are on top of liquid rock called lava or magma. All right. There should be sound for you. All right. If you don't have sound, Muharram, it's probably on your end. I think everybody else can hear me. Preeti says there's friction, so there's pressure. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay, so that's great. So you thought about these. Now, let's look at the actual passage here. The first set of questions here is list of headings. Now, list of headings questions, there are some that are not in the passage, but there's something very interesting about list of headings. List of headings is the only question that you get before the passage. That's because the IELTS examiners want you to read the list of headings question before the passage and answer as you read the passage. It's a unique question in this way, okay? So let's talk list of headings strategy for reading, okay? Okay, so number one is read this before the passage and answer as you read the passage. Okay. Number two is paraphrase the choices. A, on paper at home when preparing for the IELTS. And B, in your mind while doing the official IELTS. Okay? So, and a third strategy, so these are all important here, and we're going to do this step by step. You will master this question, okay? Questions in the IELTS usually will answer what, why, or how, okay? The most fundamental parts of human communication are understanding questions of what is it, why is it, how does it work, okay? Now, IELTS questions can be understood in this way, all right? They can be understood as what is it, why is it, and how is it? Which question do you think list of headings is about? So these list of headings, so choosing the right heading for a paragraph, what question are we answering here in a very simple, basic way? And students that learn these strategies get very good results on the list of headings and practice them. Are the list of headings questions answering what? Are they answering why? Or are they answering how? Okay, and list of headings uses some inferencing as well that I talked about. Afsana says that list of headings answers what is it? And Afsana, you're right, okay? List of heading questions answer what is the paragraph about? Okay, usually this is the topic sentence, okay? In body paragraphs, the first sentence, okay? However, in the introduction and conclusion, you must inference, okay? You have to make an analytic choice, and I'll show you how that works, okay? So these are the most important strategies that you have to remember for list of headings. Read it before the passage. Answer these questions as you read the passage. To be more specific, answer after each paragraph. Okay. Paraphrase the choices. It's very important because the answers are paraphrased with synonyms and descriptions. When you practice them at home, do it on paper. When you're in the IELTS, do it in your mind, okay? These questions answer what is the paragraph about. It's usually the topic sentence, the first sentence, especially for body paragraphs in the passage. For the conclusion, for the introduction, you have to do inferencing. It means you have to understand the whole paragraph and figure out based on that information. Okay, so let's do the paraphrasing the choices first. Okay, let's do a few of these together. So, violent eruptions, magma, lava, and new islands. What's a good way to paraphrase that? Okay, Sahil, let's work on getting you that band 7 instead of the 6.5. Okay, so how can I paraphrase violent eruptions, magma, lava, and new islands? What is that describing? What is that describing? You should be able to figure this out. We talked about it. Strong eruptions, Mario Espitia. It's a little bit too simple. Abdelghani says consequences. Yeah, that's not bad. Disasters is a fairly good paraphrase. ENG Mahmoud. Very good. It's a volcano, right? Volcanoes. All right, so all of that paraphrases the word volcanoes or volcanic eruption. Very good. By Rick Esch. Rick Esch says it's volcanic eruption. Okay, absolutely. Okay, hotspots, sure. Okay, the destruction of Pompeii. The destruction of Pompeii. What's another way to say that? Maybe something like demolishing a city. Okay, Pompeii was a city in what is now Italy. All right. Good. Neil Moradia. Neil, good. You came up with the word demolish, as I did. Pompeii, the capital P gives you a hint that it's going to be a city or a country or something. Okay? All right. Two continents become many. What's another way to say two continents become many? It's a city name, Pompeii. It's a very famous ancient city that was buried in ash. Mario Espitia says division of lands. Yeah, I like it. Sure. Separating, splitting. Those are all some very nice words. Sahil and Susan. Okay. So division of land, separation of continents or land masses. Okay, this is what you're doing at home when you're practicing this type of a question. And you have to do lots of this so that you can do it quickly in your mind. Okay, adjacent continents. Okay, adjacent, side by side, landmass. Sure. Ring of fire. Fault line. Okay, if you don't know that, that's fine. It's a name. You don't have to. The invisible threat. Let's go to that one. All right. You should be able to paraphrase this one here. The invisible threat. What's another way to paraphrase the invisible threat? Another way to say threat? Danger. That's right. Rina Timsko says danger. Well, Susan, you're here now, so don't worry about it. Focus now. Okay. Unseen threat or hidden danger. That's a beautiful paraphrase. Good for those of you who came up with that. Hidden danger. Yeah. Hidden danger is a very good way to paraphrase invisible threat. Gondwana comes together. What is the phrasal verb comes together? What's the verb for comes together? So hidden danger, risk. Rob Sell is a good one as well. Yeah, absolutely. Unnoticeable and unseen is good. Sahil, yeah, joins. Okay. A hypothesis of unity and disunity. Let's see who's a clever, quick thinker in today's class. Hypothesis. What's another way to say hypothesis or a close meaning of hypothesis? Unity is to join or together or combine. Yeah. And Sahil, you're right. It's a theory. So theory of one and many. Okay. So theory of one and many. That would be a good way. A mechanism. Mechanism could be a hypothesis or a theory. A system, a function. Okay? System. Function. Okay? For mechanism. All right, that's great, students. So lots and lots of good work there. Process, very good. Or procedure. Absolutely. Procedure, system, process. Very nice paraphrasing, students. Good for you. The faster, the better, the more accurate, the more ways you can paraphrase those list of headings questions in your mind, the better you will do in getting these answers correctly, quickly. Okay? So let's read this passage together and let's answer this list of headings questions as we read. Okay? So now we've done our paraphrasing. I know it's sad. I have to erase all of that beautiful brainstorming. But you don't. Hopefully you made some notes at home. And then let's get to the reading. Notice how paragraph A, it's the introduction. They don't give you the example. They give you the example for the first body paragraph. That's because the introduction and the conclusion are more difficult, so they want you to do those ones, okay? So that's why they give you the answer for one of the body paragraphs, usually, and not the introduction. Okay, here we go. Seismic shift. So read with me nice and loud, students. Okay, please read loud, aloud, all right? Hear yourself, move your tongue, pay attention to the way you read and how you pronounce. Read with me. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Seismic shifts, silent drifts. When looking at a map of the world, it is natural to notice that Africa and South America seem to be able to fit together as if they are two parts of a former whole. It was this insight which led Flemish cartographer Abraham Ortelius in 1596 to put forward for the first time the idea that at one period the continents were in different places than they are today. It would take over 300 years for the theory to be fully developed, and 50 years after that for the mechanism of the phenomenon to be discovered. Okay, so now in the IELTS and when you're practicing at home, this is what you need to do. You need to ask yourself, and of course at home do this on paper, okay? And in the IELTS, when you're in the real IELTS, you don't have time, so you do it in your brain. Okay, so at home, on paper, okay? In IELTS test, in your mind. All right, and what you're doing is asking a question. What is this paragraph about? Okay, and what's the answer? So what is this paragraph about? Joy, again, remember what I said, paraphrase in your mind during the IELTS, practice at home. So what is this first paragraph about, the one that we just read? what is this paragraph about? Well, what did we read? We read about a man named Ortelius who came up with a theory, right? A man who had a theory of continental drift 350 years ago, or when? Oh, in 1596, in the 16th century. Okay, it's a man who had a theory about continental drift or the movements of continents in the 16th century. Sure. All right, so let's see which, so this is the next step, let's see which of these matches closest to our answer. So, list of headings. First one, violent eruptions, magma lava, not really. The destruction of Pompeii, definitely not. Two continents become many. I didn't read about that. I didn't read about two continents breaking up. Fossil evidence, nope. Side-by-side continents, nope. I didn't read about continents so much, really. An intuitive notion, that looks interesting. The Ring of Fire, no. The Invisible Threat, don't think so. Gondwana, I didn't see that name or joining. A hypothesis of unity and disunity, perhaps. Number 11, a mechanism to match the theory is found. I don't think so. It doesn't talk about a mechanism. Okay. Does it talk about a procedure? Did the man describe how that happens? I don't think so. So the two that look good for me are this one and maybe this one, a hypothesis of unity. So these are the two closest ones. Now, let's look. Oh, wait a second. Paragraph B is 10, a hypothesis of unity and disunity. So that lets me be confident about this one here, number 6, or Roman numeral 6. Okay, so VI, Roman numeral 6, an intuitive notion. Okay. Does everybody understand the meaning of intuitive notion? I think that's maybe the one that we didn't paraphrase as we started. Okay. Intuitive means logical. Okay. Inference. Notion is an idea. Okay. Why? Because it's this insight or this idea. That's right, Pradeep. The insight is the paraphrase. Okay. So very good. Okay. Careful. If I'm not sure, so let's say that I'm a little bit confused here, and some of you students are going, yeah, Adrian, sure, you know, you're a teacher, your English is good, you can figure that out. But for me, that's trouble. I would be in trouble on that question. Don't panic, don't freak out, okay? So now you say, okay, it might be X, but it's not because that's given in the example. So the other one that I'm thinking is this one and this one, a mechanism. Okay. So what you can do is you can say, well, maybe it's this one or maybe it's this one. Okay, don't decide. Just pick both. And then when you're finished, the other choices and paragraphs, you might realize that this one is much better for a different paragraph. And then you'll realize that, okay, by deduction, it has to be this one. Okay, so there are more ways. Okay. Intuitive, Rick Esh, is just what Afsana is saying. It's insight or logical. It's an inference. Sensible is another way. Okay? Let me show you that just so you're absolutely clear one more time before we move on. Okay? I don't want you to be confused. So, it is natural to notice that Africa and South America seem to be able to fit together, as if they are two parts of a former whole. It was this insight which led Flemish cartographer to put forward the first time the idea that at one period the continents were in different places. The idea is the notion the insight is the intuitive idea or intuitive notion, because he noticed that these continents fit together. Now, again, students, remember, the conclusion and the introduction are the most difficult for list of headings, because you have to understand the whole paragraph usually to infer the answer. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. All right? Okay, here we go, students. Let's go with the next paragraph. Read with me, nice and loud. It was not until 1915 that German geologist Alfred Wegener proposed the continental drift theory, which states that the Earth's crust is made up of many sections that float slowly over the molten mantle and core of the Earth. Wegener argued that in the past, the continents were all stuck together. He called this supercontinent Pangaea, which is Greek for all Earth. Wegener hypothesized that approximately 200 million years ago, this supercontinent began to break up and the pieces began to move away from each other. Okay? So what is this paragraph about? It is about unity, disunity, continental drift, right? It's an idea by the German geologist Alfred Wegener that there's continental drift, which says that the Earth is made up of many sections that move around. Okay? That's what it's about. And if we go back to the beginning, this one is given for us. Okay? Paragraph is X, a hypothesis of unity and disunity. Okay? So that one's given. It's X. Good. We move on. Don't just ignore the given answer. Do recognize it and pay attention to it as you move past that. Okay? Let's go for paragraph C. Everybody's good so far? Unity means to be joined in one, okay? Group, one group. Disunity means to be separated. Okay? All right. Everybody's good. Let's go for C. So again, read with me, nice and loud. Initially, Pangaea divided into two parts named Laurasia and Gondwana. Laurasia consisted of what is today North America, Asia, and Europe, while Gondwana comprised modern-day South America, Africa, and Australia. These supercontinents eventually split apart further, resulting in today's continental configuration. It is interesting to note that today's continental alignment is just that. Millions of years in the future, the Earth's continents will appear very different. Given enough time, it is possible that the Earth's land masses will return to a Pangaea-like unified state. Okay, cool. What is this paragraph about? That's my question now, right? So what is this paragraph about? And what's the answer here? Mostly, what is this about? Looking at the topic sentence, what is the paragraph about? Don't be quick to jump to an answer. Answer the question first and then look for the answer. Mario Espetia says continental division. Yeah, so full sentence answers. It's about continental division. Can you be more specific, Mario? Because you're right on the right track. Zainul says separation. Yeah, two continents that have separated into many parts. Rina Tingso TV. Very good. Yeah. Two continents that have separated into many parts. Sure, that I think is a good answer. It's solid. Let's check to see if any match. Violent eruptions, magma, lava, volcanoes, no. Destruction of Pompeii, not really. Two continents become many. Hey, look at that. That's pretty good. Make sure none of these other are better answers, but I think that's a good one. So let's stick with it. Okay, so let's stick with it and go with 3. Okay, so in your answer sheet, you put the Roman numeral 3. You're good to go. Two continents become many. Fantastic. Nice answers. Pachu, Haifa, Sami, Hikam, Zainul, Arwind, Jason G. Good answers. All right. Let's keep rocking and rolling. D. Again, read with me. The evidence for continental drift is plentiful. The most common evidence is the discovery of the same type of dinosaurs in extremely different locations. The same type of dinosaur fossil will be found in northeastern parts of South America as well as northwestern parts of Africa. The logical explanation for the phenomenon such as this is that at one time, these parts of the world were not only connected, but adjacent. What is paragraph D about? Full sentence answers, students. Full sentence answers. Mario Espitia says, location of fossils. That's pretty good. Pradeep says, it's about fossil evidence, historical evidence. I agree. In the form of fossils. Yeah, that's right. Adjacent is side by side. Okay, to be side by side. So if there's a person standing beside me, they are adjacent to me. Okay? So side by side. All right, so let's see if we have anything that matches historical evidence in the form of fossils. Okay, volcanoes, no. Destruction of Pompeii, no. Two continents become many, we just chose that one, no. Fossil evidence, number 4. Hey, that looks pretty good. Adjacent continents, there's some information about that, but it's not what the paragraph is about, okay? That's the why answer. That explains the idea of adjacent continents, but it's about the fossil evidence. Intuitive notion, no. Ring of fire, no. Invisible threat, no. So let's keep it simple. Let's stick with number 4, okay? Make sure when you do 4 and 6, you don't accidentally do that, okay? Please, careful which side this is on, all right? This is the correct answer, so don't lose an easy mark if you've figured it out, okay? Just a little side note, be careful about those 2 Roman numerals, all right? So this is 4. Why is it 4? Because it's 5 minus 1. 6 is 5 plus 1, okay? Roman writing is from left to right. Keep that in mind. All right, here we go. Let's keep rocking and rolling, students. Keep your logic moving forward. Up, up, and away with your brain and with IELTS band scores. Here we go. E. Read with me, nice and loud. 3, 2, 1. The evidence for continental drift was discovered long before an explanation for it was found. It was during the 1960s that the theory of plate tectonics was developed. This new theory explained fully the nature of the Earth's crust. that it was broken up into many pieces that tended to smack into each other and pull apart from each other. In extreme cases, such as the Indian subcontinent, a plate's movement can be so severe that it causes massive mountains to be formed when the plate hits another. This is precisely what has happened over the past millions of years with the Indian plate colliding with the Eurasian plate. In the process, creating the Himalayas, which include the tallest mountain on Earth, Mount Everest. What is paragraph E about? Anybody? What's the answer for that one? The Earth's transforming, creation of a new island, formation of Mount Everest. That's an example, Rick Esch. So the end of the paragraph is an example. All right. All right. Creation of mountains. It's not about the creation of mountains. Description, theory of plate tectonics. That's right. Yeah, theory of plate tectonics. What is the theory of plate tectonics? What does the theory of plate tectonics say? What is it? It's the plates moving. What is that? It's a process, right? It's a procedure. Okay? So, helping you out here a little bit to use your logical mind. So here we go. So notice that list of headings isn't tricky because of English. It's tricky because of logic, right? So violent eruptions, lava, islands, no. Destruction of Pompeii, no. Two continents become many, nope, doesn't talk about that. Fossil evidence, that was the last paragraph, no. Adjacent continents, an intuitive notion, we already talked about that. The ring of fire, nope. Invisible threat, do we read about danger here? Earthquakes, volcanoes, not really. Gondwana comes together, I don't think so. Hypothesis of unity, disunity, that's already the example for paragraph B, so absolutely not. A mechanism to match the theory is found. So a procedure or a process to match the theory of continental drift. Absolutely. So if you are a clever reader, you will see that this means that continental drift is because of plate tectonics. Okay, so the continental drift theory, so continents moving around, is because of moving plates on top of the liquid molten core of the Earth. So 11 is definitely the best answer for that paragraph E. So hopefully you arrived at the same conclusion as I did. Okay, so here we go. Paragraph E is XI, like that. It's 11. Again, same thing. Don't make the mistake of putting the I here. That's 9, so don't do that. Okay. All right, here we go. Let's keep rocking and rolling here with our logical, analytical thinking. Of course, paraphrasing here helps because the students at the beginning of the class that said process procedure, you should click. Kishore, yes, you do have enough time to read the paragraph, even if you're not a fast reader. You don't have time to try to skim or scan for answers. Skimming and scanning takes way too much time, okay? especially for this kind of answer. Students who are skimming and scanning, by the way, for answers will have a lot of difficulty for this kind of passage. If a student is skimming and scanning when the passage has list of headings followed by true, false, not given, I promise that you will take way too long because it's very difficult. It's impossible to skim and scan for not given, false, and inference information. So from the 14 questions here, about 5 or 6 of the answers, there's no way you can get it with skimming and scanning. It's impossible. It's logically impossible. Okay? Keep that in mind. Okay? So you have to read the passage. When you practice this at home, you can do it very quickly during the IELTS. Okay? Here we go with paragraph F. Read with me. Plate tectonics are not only responsible for mountains and the movement of continents, they are also responsible for volcanoes. Volcanoes usually result from one of 2 plate configurations. They form in places where the plates are colliding or where the plates are pulling apart. In the first case, the plates come together, pushing against each other, causing friction and heat, which allows some of the crust material to melt, resulting in liquid magma. Because magma is less dense than the surrounding rock, it ends up rising to the surface where it becomes a volcano. For an example of this type of volcano is the famous Mount Vesuvius, which destroyed the city of Pompeii in 79 CE. The second type of volcano comes from divergent plates. These types tend to be underwater, as in the mid-oceanic ridges. Volcanic islands, such as Iceland and Hawaii, were formed by underwater volcanic activity, eventually spewing off enough matter to form land above water. What is this paragraph about? Mostly, what is it about? I bet some of you are giving me a one-word answer for this one. What is paragraph? And you won't be mistaken. So Pradeep Sapkota says it's about volcanoes. Kevin says it's about volcanoes. And I have to agree. Yeah, it's about volcanoes, mostly volcanoes, right? It's in the first sentence. Again, remember your topic sentence. Okay, it's about volcanoes. I don't know why. I just love that word, volcano. So here we go. If we look at this paragraph, look at how clear the topic sentence is. Plate tectonics are not only responsible for mountains and the movement of continents, they are also responsible for volcanoes. Bada boom. That's a very, very clear, well-written topic sentence, okay? So if you are, just let me get you back on screen here. If you are writing for task 2, this is the quality of a topic sentence that you should be going for band 9. Okay, it's very clear that this paragraph will be about volcanoes, indeed about volcanoes. So now, do we have the word volcanoes in our choices? No, we don't. But we remember from our paraphrasing that violent eruptions, magma, lava, and new islands, that's volcanoes, okay? So we know that it is I, and I'm sure a lot of you realize that. Very good, Rena Tingso and Mario and Maria Faye. Very good, okay? Absolutely. Good job, Linda. Yeah, it's I. It's absolutely I. Okay, so F is I. Okay, here we go. So Roman numeral 1 in your answer sheet. Okay, one last paragraph, 19, all right? I just had a quick question there. Why is it not number 2? Why is it not number 2, students? So somebody is asking, why is it not number 2? It's a very good question, and I want to answer that before we go to paragraph G. So Juan Esteban says, because it's just an example that's given. And Juan, you're right. This is called list of headings. Okay? List of headings questions means what heading do you give the paragraph? So what's the title of this paragraph? The title of the paragraph is what the paragraph is about, not the why, not the how. Examples, explanations are why and how. The topic is the what. The topic here is volcanoes. The examples are Hawaii, Iceland, Pompeii, Mount Vesuvius. Okay? Those are just examples. All right? So you cannot have an example as a heading. That's why number 2 is wrong. Is that clear for everyone? You're answering the what question, not the why and the how question. Okay? All right, I hope that's very clear, because that's often where students will lose their marks, is they get lost in details. Okay? All right. So let's go to the last question, or last paragraph. Here we go. All right. Volcanoes are not hidden threat. They're very obvious for the most part. Okay? Underwater volcanoes generally don't pose a threat for people, Spandana, and the paragraph did not say danger. Okay? Above ground volcanoes, those tend to pose danger for humans most of the time, but those are very visible. Okay? Let's read this last paragraph. Of course, there is one final important result of plate tectonics: earthquakes. Earthquakes are perhaps the most terrifying of all natural disasters. They are practically invisible. They happen below the Earth's surface and have devastating results. Earthquakes happen along fault lines, places where two plates are colliding, diverging, or slipping past each other. In the case where the two plates are attempting to slip past each other, the most devastating earthquakes can occur. This is because friction does not allow the plates to pass each other until sufficient energy to counteract the resistance has been built up. So the two plates rub against each other for centuries or millennia until one day they finally slip. This slip is what results in a sudden catastrophic earthquake. If this slip occurs in the ocean underneath the Earth's surface, it can cause a massive tidal wave known as a tsunami. If this slip occurs directly beneath a major city, massive destruction will result. There are many such cities at risk of these earthquakes, many of them along what is known as the Ring of Fire, surrounding the Pacific Ocean. These cities include Tokyo, San Francisco, Vancouver, and Santiago. Understanding plate tectonics reveals that it is not a question of if these major cities will get hit by an earthquake. It is only a question of when. What is this paragraph about? And I see a whole bunch of invisible threats written into the comment stream. Yeah, absolutely. It's in the topic sentence here, so it's a little bit of an easier conclusion. Sometimes the conclusion can be more difficult. They are practically invisible, right? It's right there, invisible. So what is it about? It's about earthquakes. What are earthquakes? They are invisible dangers or invisible threat, which is there. It's Roman numeral 8. Okay. Again, notice that the paragraph does talk about the Ring of Fire, but that's just an example. Okay, it's just an example. So here, the correct answer is 8. So Roman numeral 5 followed by 3 ones, which is Roman numeral 8. Okay? All right, students. So now that we finished reading the paragraph and answering the list of headings, here is a look at the 4 true, false, not given questions. This video is being recorded and the video is available on our channel in about 1 hour. So once the stream completes, 1 hour later, you will see the video available on our channel. I'm out of time, so I challenge you to answer these true, false, not given questions at home. You can also answer these complete the sentence ending questions at home. Send your answers to me by email, and I'll let you know what the answers are. Also, I will post the answers in the community chat on our channel. Okay? So my email address is adrian@aehelp.com. So send me the answers for the true, false, not given there. Again, I'll post them in the community chat so you can figure out what you got there. Now, just a quick review before we wrap it all up. Remember, list of headings strategy, okay? List of headings questions. Read them before the passage. That's why they give them to you before the passage. Paraphrase them, okay? Answer them as you read the passage. So answer each paragraph as you finish reading it. Paraphrase the choices on paper at home, in your mind during the official IELTS. You have to answer the question, what is the paragraph about? Not what is the example or why or how, okay? But what is the paragraph about? Remember, the answers for the body paragraphs usually come from the topic sentence. For the introduction and the conclusion, you usually have to infer the answer, make an analytic choice, okay? Students, you've done a wonderful job. I can tell that a lot of you got the hang of it by the end, just based on how many of you were giving correct answers. Remember to learn amazing and effective and tested strategies for all questions in the reading and in the listening, as well as help for the writing and speaking. Join our premium course, aehelp.com. Do yourself a favor. It's not just a sales pitch. Sure, we like selling our products, but even more, we like helping students pass IELTS. So spend a couple dollars, learn the right tools, get the right methods, pass your academic IELTS, go to aehelp.com. Pass your general IELTS, go to gieltshelp.com. Thanks so much, everyone, for watching. Have an awesome rest of your day. You're very welcome, Harmeet. You're very welcome, Afsana, sorry. You're very welcome, Joy. Bye for now, everyone. Sweet dreams if it's late in your country and you're getting ready for bed. See you tomorrow for Members Chat.